From the very beginning of the Torah, brothers struggled to live with one another without tearing each other or their whole families apart. The first brothers, Cain and Abel, end in bloodshed. Later brothers are driven apart by favoritism, rivalry, and fear. Time and again, the Torah presents us with families that fracture under pressure, as though conflict between brothers is simply part of human nature. By the time we reach the story of Joseph and his brothers, we almost expect the cycle to repeat itself. The Torah portion, Vayigash, interrupts that pattern. It offers something we have not yet seen in the Torah. It's something that it's more than reconciliation or appeasement. It's a transformation. This parashah marks the first time we witness a complete process of teshuvah, of repentance. And the figure at the center of that transformation is Judah. Earlier in the Joseph story, it is Judah who steps forward and suggests that Joseph be sold rather than killed. Yeah, it sounds like a compromise, even an act of restraint, but Judah prevents bloodshed and offers a solution that allows the brothers to move on. Joseph is removed from sight, the immediate crisis disappears, and life goes on as if the problem has been solved. Then the Torah pauses the Joseph narrative entirely and takes us aside into Judah's private life, into the painful and morally complicated episode of Tamar. This detour is essential to understand who Judah will become. A woman named Tamar marries into Judah's family, and she's widowed twice, first from his firstborn son, then from his second one. And according to the custom of the time, Judah promises that she will eventually marry his youngest son. But that promise is never fulfilled. Instead, Tamar is sent back to her father's house, bound to Judah's family in name, yet denied of protection and a future. She is left in a painful legal and moral limbo, neither free to remarry nor truly cared for. When Tamar realizes that Judah does not intend to keep his word, she removes her widow's garments, covers herself with a veil, and waits by the roadside where Judah is traveling. He does not recognize her and assumes she is a prostitute. Judah approaches her and promises payment later, leaving behind a pledge: his seal, its cord, and his staff, personal items that unmistakably identify him. Later, when Tamar's pregnancy becomes known and Judah is quick to condemn her, she sends these items back with a single message: please recognize to whom these belong. She does not accuse him or shame him publicly. She gives Judah the opportunity to see himself and take responsibility. Faced with the truth, Judah responds with one of the most courageous admissions in the Torah: Tzadka mimeni, she is more righteous than I. Judah publicly confesses rather than privately save face. He chooses humiliation over injustice. The rabbis teach that this moment earns Judah a lasting legacy because he demonstrates that leadership begins with the ability to say, I was wrong. This encounter with Tamar does not resolve Judah's story, but it offers us a glimpse of who he's becoming. For the first time, Judah is able to stop, recognize himself honestly, and take responsibility for the harm he has caused. Nothing is repaired yet, but something essential has shifted. When the Torah later brings us back to the Judah in our current Torah portion, Vayigash, we are meant to read him through this lens. So let's go back to our story. Judah is now tested once again. Joseph, now the powerful ruler of Egypt, has engineered a final test for his brothers. He secretly places his silver cup in Benjamin's sack and then accuses him of theft, fully aware of what this charge will mean. Benjamin, the youngest and most beloved remaining son, Rachel's child and Joseph's only full brother, now faces permanent enslavement in Egypt. The others are told they are free to return home. No one is forcing them to stay. No one is threatening them. They can walk away. Once again, a favored brother stands in danger. And once again, Judah finds himself at a crossroads very similar to the one he faced years earlier. Then, he allowed Joseph to be taken while he returned home. Now he could do the same. Accept the outcome, let Benjamin disappear from the family story and move on. But this time, Judah does not retreat. This time he steps forward and does the opposite of what he once did. He refuses to let another brother be lost. He reminds Joseph that he personally guaranteed Benjamin's safety to their father, and then he offers himself in Benjamin's place. Judah is offering substitution. Take me instead, he says, and let the boy go free. In that moment, Judah stands not only for Benjamin, but also for the brother he once failed. The test has returned, and this time, Judah chooses differently. This is the classical definition of tshuva, encountering the same situation with the same stakes and choosing differently. The sages note that Judah's speech to Joseph is the longest uninterrupted plea in the Torah. Judah retells the story slowly and carefully, centering on his father's pain. It is no accident that this transformation unfolds through speech. The Torah emphasizes Judah's words because words are the bridge between inner change and outer action. Silence once allowed a brother to disappear, but speech now makes reconciliation possible. The rabbis teach that redemption begins when truth can finally be spoken. Judah's words crack open the long-sealed bonds of guilt and grief. It is his willingness to speak, to take responsibility for Benjamin's fate, that moves Joseph profoundly. For the first time, the silent complicity of years is confronted openly. Ani Yosef, I am Joseph, he finally declares. The walls of fear and shame crumble, and all the emotions that were hidden, pain, regret, and love, can finally be openly expressed. Through Judah's courage in speech, the way toward reconciliation and healing is made possible. Judah, of course, is not just another character in the Torah. He is our eponym, Yehudah. We are Yehudim, Jews, those who carry Judah's name. To be a Jew is to inherit Judah's story, the capacity to fail, the courage to admit it, and the responsibility to change. And yes, I know it may feel like the wrong new year to be talking about Tshuva. This is not Tishrei. There are no shofars or white garments. But Vayigash reminds us that Tshuva does not belong to a season. Repentance belongs to life. You do not have to wait for the high holidays, or even for January, or for the perfect moment when everything lines up. Teshuvah happens whenever we recognize ourselves honestly and decide not to repeat the same story again. If brothers have been fighting since the beginning of time, then Judah shows us something equally ancient and equally hopeful, that people can change, families can heal, and redemption begins when someone steps forward and says, "This time, I will choose differently."